Welcome, guys. Welcome to Rob. Welcome to the first episode of Life Behind Bars. So, just to give you an update on what has transpired, Rob and I did some podcasts with the successful Hammersdale Harriers event that we did, and I took lots of fun and passion and enjoyment from that process, as did Rob. And I just thought that we could do something a little bit more, but on a little bit of a different platform. So it's a podcast by myself. Rob is actually a guest tonight, and we'll get into that. But yeah, just Life Behind Bars for me, I think, is a much needed podcast for South African motocross. And yeah, I want to cover a couple of things within motocross and interview a couple of motocross stars. And we've got a nice starting lineup tonight with a MX2 champion from this year. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, just the way that I'd like to see myself performing this is we'll do an intro, then we'll talk about motocross in South Africa, a couple of things that are going on and almost what's happening in MX South Africa. We will then do a product review, which is the reason Rob is here, for Piranha Racing Products, which they are the sponsors for tonight, for the show. So thank you, Rob, for putting up the product and all that for us. And then then we'll go into the guest, and then obviously we'll do a bit of closing. But just maybe to start with a little bit of an introduction to myself. If you don't know me, my name is Blaine Gauguin. Obviously Rob Dickens is a guest with me tonight, and he's going to be participating as well. So I come from a background of motocross. My family are the Bergstroms. My mom is a Bergstrom. I'm sure most people would understand and know what they mean to South African motocross. And since I was born, my brother and I have been at motocross events. So we have really, really lived this life behind bars and enjoyed every second of it. And that's sort of what's the reason for me wanting to put something back and just to do something that I enjoy. And like I say, coming from the successful Hammersdale Harriers event, this is what's transpired. So my uncles were multiple South African champions. My mom and dad ran Hammersdale motocross for many, many years. My mom and dad, Billy and Lynn Gauguin, were on the motocross commission for South Africa. And in that time, I think they formed a lot of the rules and regulations and the SSRs, or whatever they're called in that white book. And they spent many, many hours writing exams, doing tests. Because of that, they were fortunate enough to be able to work at Grand Prix as assistant clerk of the courses, as secretaries in those events at Grand Prix. And then they've obviously kept in touch with Grand Prix racing for a very long time. My brother, him and I both raced sort of successfully in nationals, never good enough for where we would want to be. My brother had some knee injuries, but really, really good racer. Later on in life, he has done really well in some of the desert challenges in Dubai, where he now lives. Myself, we were both top 5 national riders, mainly in the 250 class. And we had some good years against Andre Deeren, Murray Smith, and a lot of great racers, Richard Moore, that we raced with. But so I got a bit of a background and a pedigree, and that's why I think it's good that I can talk about this sport that I love so much, which is motocross. And then just my brother's still in Dubai. He's got a successful motorcycle agency in Dubai called SRG Motorsports. He helps Michael Doherty in the rallies and the Dakar as one of the riders. He actually was a mechanic way back for Steven Sword and for Kenneth Gunderson, worked for Factory KTM, worked for Factory Kawasaki. So yeah, the family is very, very entrenched. And yeah, we love it, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. So Life Behind Bars, I think you'll see the logo when it comes up. 67 is the racing number I use, inspired by the great Greg Albertine. I've used that for a long time on my bikes. Just obviously inspired by Greg Albertine, Robbie Herring, one of my heroes as well, and obviously all the famous races that we've had throughout the years. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, and I think what we will do is we will then go on to the MXA news. So what's happening in MXA motocross? The season's just finished. Dero has won the 450s, Luke Grundy the 250s. We've got Coxie. Which one? Trey, sorry, there's so many Coxes. We got Trey Cox, who won one for high school, second time in a row. We got Kretzmann in the 85s, and then we've got another little kid from Natal is Travis Hart, won the 50s. Those are all Natal boys, and I have to read, guys. Then we've got, I hope I say this right, Royden Wools on the Husky. The women's, we've got Jessica Osner, Royce Griffin in the MX3, Brandon Wheeler on his Yamaha on the Vets. He's an amazing rider. And then for the brand champions, we had KTM. So really well done to all those South African champions. I think it was a really good season. And we're going to talk about that, I think, more in these episodes as we progress and there's more racing on. But what a great year. I think there were some standout rides for me in the small class. Wow, that 85 class, Rob, just the guys we've got in there, well, you know some of them. Do you want to maybe just mention one or two of them?
Yeah, Evan Frost he's had a hell of a season. He just got pipped to the post. He unfortunately broke his foot right before the last national, so he couldn't end up riding the last national. So, and it wasn't even a motorcycle accident. He actually broke his foot walking down the stairs at school. So, yeah, just bad luck, unfortunately. But what a good season he's had. I mean, he had an amazing season. He was selected to go overseas to race in the ADAC Championship. He raced for the KTM Cossack team.
Yeah.
Ended with the 14th overall. Now, the ADAC is the precursor to the EMX GP. So the EMX 125s, the EMX 250s, the ADAC is the premier sort of racing class, well, premier racing competition in Europe where everyone goes to race prior to them actually moving forward and springboarding into the EMX, which is the European motocross of champions as far as the European Cup is concerned. From EMX, they then go straight into GP. So,
yeah, so
the springboard from ADAC to EMX, it's really, really close. And if you're in the top 15, you know, there's really good pedigree as far as coming all the way from South Africa.
Pedigree and potential, which is what we want to see. And yeah, just going back to it, I mean, that 80 class, Bircher, Kretzmann, Frost, and they're amazing. Just for me, standout riders in the 85 class are those three. And then Jordan van Wyk in the 250 MX2, he had some really good results. He got a second in Bloem and a third at Teratopia. I think he's really come on nicely. He's taken a year or two to get accustomed to the 250F, but he really started to look good at the end of the year. And I believe he's got a ride. I don't know a lot about it, and we're going to try and... This is the content that we will be forwarding with you. I don't know if you know a little bit more, Rob. He's got a ride overseas with a Honda team. Do you know a little bit more about it?
No, I don't. I haven't heard much more other than what's been posted on Instagram. So I saw him standing with his Honda bike and people were congratulating him. Apparently he secured some form of ride in Europe. So
and that's the kind of content that we'll look at getting for you, so we can share it with you, and that's it. We just want to share content and what's going on within the South African motocross community.
Yeah.
Another sort of series that is close to my heart is the World of Two Wheels series, which is the whole inland series, and that whole series that they've got going. There were some good rides there. We got Adriano Catalano won the main class there.
Marco Certi won the MX2 on the inland series. He's one of the Piranha Racing Products riders, actually. Yeah, so very proud of that.
And what we're going to do, guys, is this is actually, the more I look into this, I've spoken to Xavier. I'm going to try and get him on here as a guest just to explain that series. I've raced a couple of them with my son Chad, and we really had a lot of fun doing them. The races are well organized, the tracks are suitable, and yeah, really good vibe. Well done to Sean Lloyd, my competition. He ended up winning. I've got you next year, Sean. And then, just Gary Killian. I think we had some really nice dices in that series from the national point of view, the national series point of view, as well as the interprovincial. So I'm looking forward to that series next year. But that's the content I want to bring out and talk about. I really think they've got a good Dragon Energy sponsors them. They've got a good series going there. I don't know if you guys are aware, Siemens Motorcycles, as part of that series, have a ride that they're giving away. They are doing trials. I'm going to post all the dates on this. They're doing trials for riders where they're going to give you a ride on a Honda CRF 250 for a year, sponsored, the bike, the entries, the fuel, the setup of the tents, the kit. It is amazing. So I think there's 40 spots available that they're going to be doing, and that's an amazing energy that they're putting back into motocross for that series, specific to that series, and I look forward to obviously keeping an eye on who that rider will be and how they go, and it's just going to be exciting to see that development, and it's exciting to see people putting back into the sport, which we love so much. So yeah, it's great. Then some other things happening, the two-wheel development sites that the McClellan and a couple of others are running. They gave away that 60 helmet so you could enter. It was all to raise funds, and that those funds were used for Evan, as Rob was saying. So a guy by the name of Mark Laros won it. I hope I said it correctly. So they gave that away at the national, at the last national. So congratulations. I'm very jealous. That 60 helmet is obviously quite an amazing product. And congratulations, and thanks for the support for two-wheel development. Keep an eye on that website for product and shirts and kit that you want, just keep supporting South African motocross in terms of the auctions. Then so just on that Siemens ride, it's on the 22nd November. It's at Dirt Bronco, so just have a look at their website. Make sure you look up Siemens and get involved. If you are up there or you're keen to do that series and you think you're in with a chance, it's the Siemens Hooligan MX team that they are going to be providing a bike, which I think is just incredible. So thanks guys for that. And then I suppose other news. We've got Camden McClellan staying with Triumph, and we've got Calvin announced quite recently Ducati, which is exciting.
Really? Ducati? Yeah. That's amazing.
So
the Ferrari of motocross.
Then just in terms of those two, at some stage, I will try and get them on these podcasts, but let's just do one at a time. So at the moment, we set up for 6 episodes. We're going to try and do them monthly to start off with, and then we'll go from there. If there's a call and there's support and you guys enjoy the content, we will obviously try and do more and do it bi-monthly. But at the moment, a monthly episode is what we can muster, and it's an appeal. I know they always say like and subscribe, so like and subscribe. And then if you want to get involved, it's going to cost you a lot less than you think to get involved in this process. So please get hold of me through the channels. And let's see if we can work together and get some sort of sponsorship.
Yeah, let's get some exposure for
you guys. And let's get some exposure for you guys. And that's where we are with Rob. So in terms of Rob, we're going to move into the product segment right now. Rob, tell us about Piranha Racing Products. So I love them, I use them, and I find them fantastic, and I'll have my say just now. But how long ago did Piranha start, and what is Piranha?
Okay, thanks, Blaine. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to just show you what we've got available and how it all started. So it started around just after COVID. COVID finished in 2020, and I'm being quite a tall guy. I battled with fitting into the motorcycle. I've got long legs, so it was really difficult for me to actually find, a comfortable space in the motorcycle. With long legs, having standard height foot pegs, it was very difficult for me to basically fit in the bike. So I always felt I was awkward. I was never really able to, I was in between standing and sitting all the time. My knees were always forward. And if you look at most pro motocross riders, their track position they're on their toes and their knees are back and their back is straight. Well, with foot pegs that necessarily were stock height, for me, having long legs was very difficult for me to get into that position because I couldn't fit into the motorcycle. So I started scratching my head and I started thinking about the rider triangle. And it's funny that we were talking about that. Just today actually, or yesterday, they had an interview with Eli Tomac, who's just moved across to KTM, and it's such an important part of what makes a good rider is the ergonomics of a motorcycle and the riding triangle. And Eli Tomac specifically talks about that. So it's so uncanny that it happened pretty much yesterday when we were obviously preparing for this event to happen. He's talking about it.
My favorite thing about this bike right now is the triangle, the rider triangle. So from foot peg to bars to my seat, how I just sit.
And what I found is that if you make slight changes to the rider triangle, in other words, the handlebar to seat to foot peg height, you make slight changes to the motorcycle riding triangle, you can modify the bike so that you can be able to fit and be more comfortable, and all sorts of things can result from being more comfortable on the bike. With my situation, I have long legs, so what I did was I found a way to effectively lower the foot pegs from standard height and bring them back a little bit to give me more space. So in other words, when I was standing up, my knees were on the stock height. My knees were above the seat, and I couldn't grip the seat with
100%.
couldn't grip the seat with my
with
knees.
much force, yeah.
And I found by not being able to grip the bike with my knees, my arms get really, really tired because I was hanging on with my arms. And all of the pros and all of the coaches, they would all say to you, use your legs. Your legs are much bigger than your arms, and you have a much better feel for the bike if you're using your legs. So I went down a journey of trying to ergonomically design foot pegs with the explicit help of the FCR guys, Rod Bergstrom and Roger. When in the initial phases, they really, really helped me with a lot of the R&D. I went down and did all the engineering and the designing, and then I'd manufacture them, and then we would put them on the bikes and we would take them to Hammersdale, and we would go and track test them. And I mean, lots and lots and lots of hours went into it. Lots and lots of product iterations actually resulted from that. Different modifications happened time over time. And we finally got to a point where the product was actually ended up being quite good, and testament to that, we've had quite a few national championships already, and we only started Piranha in 2021. So
that's amazing.
Very chuffed with that.
Who are those guys who've won for you? I mean, we don't need to know.
Who's
won?
Mike Pentecost, rest in peace, Mike. He was one of the greatest off-roaders in South Africa. Fantastic rider. When he was on Kawi, he won the National Off-Road Championship, the R1 SA Championship. I sponsored Brad Cox. He won multiple national championships in the off-road series. He's now riding for Sherco. No longer, I sponsored him when he was riding for KTM, but he's moved over to Factory Sherco, and they have their own in-house supply.
And
so
I'm sure he's told him what he needs.
Yeah, exactly. So Warwick van Skalkwyk, he's a national off-road rider. He's won 2 years in a row, Honda 124, and he's won again Yamaha 25. Justin Cope, he's won the MX1 Class 2024 in the Inland Series, the South African Inland Series. Yep. Evan Frost, he won on the 65 and 23, and as we mentioned a little earlier, he's a Cossack rider and all the rest of it. Him and his brother Blake, they've both run my pegs. They're quite short, so we have a taller peg to effectively help them get out of the seat so they don't get hit through braking bumps, and obviously when they're jumping, the seat doesn't hit their asses and move them forward on the bike. They get a better feel by being higher off the motorcycle.
All right, so basically you're saying that you can adjust heights on foot pegs to suit the rider.
Yeah,
which is great. I mean, that's very clever.
Jaden Proctor, he's on full sponsorship from us, so we supply foot pegs for all of his bikes. He's 2 years in a row now, MX1 and MX2. He came second in MX1 both years, 2024 and 2025, behind Cameron Deroe. He's on Factory Yamaha in South Africa. And he's obviously been running a few products that not only the foot pegs, he's tested out our starting blocks as well. And most recently 2025 champion we mentioned earlier, Marco Certi in the Inland Series. He's won the MX2 championship. And so those are the riders that effectively have won championships on our brand. So
and at the same time, I think, Rob, they've developed it for you. So they've helped you develop the products when they've given
absolutely.
feedback.
I mean, the Bergströms, when we started, I mean, the Bergströms have been modifying motorcycles to fit ergonomically to the bike to make them handle. They obviously exceptionally good with their suspension, but they've not only done that, they've been modifying motorcycles, dropping subframes lower for shorter riders, all sorts of things like that to make the motorcycle fit the rider so that the rider can be more comfortable. And when the rider's comfortable, you can go faster. You got more confidence in what the bike is actually going to do for you, and you can go faster. My philosophy was trying to get the best out of the feedback that I was getting. So when we initially started, we started with dead flat foot pegs that were parallel to the ground. They were 100% flat, and what we found is that over time, throughout the season, the frame started wearing, and then obviously the foot peg started leaning over.
Started sagging, yeah.
But you'll notice a lot of these pro riders and a lot of the coaches will tell you that the way that the guys ride is that they point their toes in.
Toes in, 100%.
Toes in, which makes your knees be able to grab the bike a lot easier. And so then we figured that out, that by actually raising the outside of the foot peg, and you can actually see from this over here, you can see that it's from perpendicular, it's actually raised 7 degrees up. So that pitches the outside of the foot peg up like that, which effectively makes your toes naturally turn in when you ride.
Yeah, which is so helpful.
So with regards to the way that it all, with the way that they pitch up like that, it naturally brings your toes into the motorcycle. And if you think about it, if you stand with your feet wide like that, it's almost impossible to close your knees without bending your knees.
100%.
If you turn your toes in, you can easily
grab.
touch your knees. You can easily grab the bike with your knees. So that was the philosophy behind what we did so we effectively raised the outside of the peg by 7 degrees, and that helped all the riders.
Okay.
Yeah, it helped all the riders with their attack position when they were riding. So effectively pitched it all in like that. So
I mean, just going back to that knees or toes in is coming from that AJ Cantizaro. It's coming from all the big coaches throughout the world are saying that's the way to hold your knees. Is focusing on your toes and pointing your toes. I
mean, it goes back to the days in Stefan Everts, like Jet Lawrence and all of those guys. They stayed with Roxon, and Everts had a big influence on the way that they were riding because they grew up and riding in Europe before they came to America. And the way that Stefan was able to, back in his day, to stand through everything. When he was going into corners, he was always standing up through corners.
100%.
That is now progressed on, and Jet and all of those guys are bringing that to America. And you'll find guys that used to sit down in corners are no longer doing that because they're copying what Jet Lawrence and what have you are doing. Kenny Roxon also stands up through the corners. He effectively is able to do that simply by turning his toes in and being able to grip the bike with his knees.
So these are effectively helping you turn the toes.
Yeah.
Simple. And what other benefits, if you just look at them, what other benefits do we have with regard? What are they made from, Rob? What are they?
So they made from 3CR12 stainless. We didn't go straight with stainless. A lot of people were asking why we didn't go straight with stainless, but the stainless is too hard. It's very, very brittle. So when it takes a shock, now there's a lot of G-forces that go through a foot peg, a hell of a lot of G-forces that go through a foot peg. So when a bike takes a shock like that, the stainless is so hard that sometimes the stainless cracks. Now with 3CR12, it's actually got a chrome component in the mild steel. Now the mild steel has a malleable effect. In other words, it's a lot stronger, and if it does take a shock, it's able to effectively absorb that shock without cracking. And that's why we went with 3CR12 to be able to absorb those intense smacks that effectively happen when you're G'ing out on a big jump, or you're hitting a rock, for example, when you're running off-road and all the rest of it. So yeah, I mean, then we've got two different types of designs that we use. The one design is effectively got a centered tread in, and this one is the perimeter one that Blaine's holding up.
So that's the centered tread.
That's the one with the centered tread. So That gives you the lateral stability that you need when you're actually riding. Quite a few motocrossers run with those, but when they're running dirt races, for example, or mud races, for example, the perimeter pegs are the ones that they mostly go for. And you'll see that there's a huge space in the middle for the mud to fall through. So mud doesn't collect up in the foot peg, and it prevents you from getting super, super slippery.
And so I've used the pegs now for about a year, and we ride Maritzburg occasionally, and it's quite muddy there in practice. I managed to get myself a newer bike, standard foot pegs. My feet were flying off all the time. Your foot pegs, feet stable on the foot pegs, better grip, better platform. And even we were at Bloem in the mud, no issues with my foot pegs. Really, really happy with the way that it helps you stay stable on the bike.
On the platform, you get a better feel as well with the width of the platform. So there's an original KTM peg. Okay, now you'll see that they're pretty much the same length from the back of the foot peg to the front. And the reason why we kept them the same length is because when you're coming into ruts, you don't want a longer foot peg that sticks out over here. You don't want a longer foot peg to pick up on the inside of the rut. Because if your foot peg jams on the inside of the rut, when you're coming through in a corner, ruts are generally this deep if it's a really rutty track. Sometimes it gets deeper. When you're coming into a corner and your foot peg hits the inside of the rut, what happens is it kicks the back wheel out of the rut. And then you lose traction, and then you lose shape, and then obviously you'll wash the front end. So we've kept the length,
or the height, yeah.
The length of the actual peg. We've kept the length exactly the same as the original peg. This is the original. But have a look at the difference in the width. So you can see this is the original KTM peg, and this is our Piranha foot peg. If I put it over there, I don't know if you can see that. If I put it over there, you can see how much wider that our foot pegs are. And that's to give you the front to back stability. What it also does is that when you're jumping in the air, you can feel the attitude of the motorcycle. The wider the platform is, this width over here, the wider this platform is, the more you'll be able to feel the attitude of the motorcycle. So if you front end high, underneath your feet, you'll be able to feel, because the front of the foot peg's pushing up like that, you'll be able to feel that the front end is high. If your nose is down, yes, it's pretty obvious when your nose is down because you'll be staring at the ground, but you can also feel underneath your feet what the bike is doing. So you get a much better feel through your feet of where you are and your body in relation to the motorcycle versus where it is in the air and all the rest of it. It gives you a lot more control and stability. So that's why we went with a wider foot peg and the wider platform. The other big plus with a wider platform is that narrow platforms like this cut into your boots. And let's be honest,
Absolutely true.
how expensive are boots these days, you know? So a narrow platform like this, they cut into your boots because the weight distribution is not spread over a wider platform. So that's why we went with a wider platform, and it gave us the ability to save our boots for another season at least, you know?
100%. Okay, so Rob, just going back a little bit, they're not specific to motocross. They are also based for enduro. What other types or forms of foot pegs are you doing?
Yeah, so because we sort of gone into this foot peg, what we've also done is we've produced a rally foot peg for adventure motorcycles. Now you can see the spikes are not as sharp as the motocross ones. You can see the motocross ones are super, super sharp. We've basically kept the rally foot pegs. They're the same width as the KTM Rally. So you can see they're a lot wider. Look at that. They're a lot wider and a lot bigger than the motocross version. Now, in rally motor and adventure bikes, you're not diving into ruts and tight corners. Adventure bikes are made for 5 hours in the saddle. You're going in dirt rides. You want a widest platform as you can possibly put on the motorcycle.
I think just for comfort. I mean, without me knowing too much about them, for comfort.
Yeah. Also, what also happens is that you get cramped. This is the standard size of the motorcycle foot peg that comes on the adventure motorcycle, and your foot is naturally wider than that foot peg. What happens when you're riding for 5 hours? The foot peg goes into the center of your foot there, and your foot starts cramping because you don't have a platform that goes right across your whole foot, if you've got big foot, and 9 times out of 10 South African boys have got big feet, there's a reason for that. And effectively what happens is that your feet start rolling on the outside of the foot peg, and it goes into the center of your foot, and your foot starts cramping. Now, 5 hours in the saddle, when you're standing up on a foot peg that's digging into the center of your foot is cramping. You'll be really sore for the next day. And when guys go on 3-4 day rides, they don't want a situation where they are hobbling around because they've had a foot peg that's been jamming in the center of their feet. So what we've done is we've made the platform super wide for long hours in the saddle and lots of comfort. Also, it's got the same technology and platform that the motocross versions have got. They've also got the 7-degree lift from the base. You can see that 7-degree lift, which also points their toes in. It gives them the natural ability to effectively grip the bike when they're standing up and having a lot more control on their platform as well. Pass me those ones, Blaine. These ones are for the pillion rider. So this is for the passenger. These are bolt-ons. So they're for KTMs. KTM have got rubber foot pegs for the pillion rider. The first thing that happens with a pillion rider when they're sitting on the back and they come into a muddy section, mud flies up and their feet slip off. There's nothing worse than a venture rider when your passenger's feet are flying all over the show. It's difficult to control the motorcycle because it's not just you that's riding, it's your passenger as well that has to stay as tight onto the bike as possible. So what we also have done is we've effectively created these little platforms that you can see there's holes that go right through. These little platforms, they drill straight through the rubber foot pegs, and we sell them with hardware that just basically bolt on through those little holes, and they bolt straight through onto the rubber foot pegs. And look how much wider that is, and look how much stronger look how much grippier they are as far as the grip is concerned. So anyone who's riding pillion that effectively wants a passenger rider foot peg, rather than buying a new whole foot peg altogether, these can bolt straight on to the originals, the rubber covered foot pegs that they have there. You just drill a 6mm hole through both of those, put the bolt through, and they bolt on. And when the foot pegs fold away, there's a cutaway so that it doesn't touch the frame. That slides up nicely. So when they stowed away, they don't catch you in the back of the leg. It's a big thing for the adventure riders.
Okay, cool.
They don't catch you on the back of the leg. Yeah, so we do those as well.
Okay, and then just maybe other products I can see. Oh, you've got some other.
Yeah, so
fiber.
these I started dabbling in carbon fiber. So
This looks like it.
yeah, it really is pretty trick. We started dabbling in carbon fiber. I've gone into a collaboration with Elton Lee Island. He does ELS surfboards. They've been making carbon surfboards for the better half of 35 years. He's really good at what he does. He's an amazing guy. That's super helpful. And we started making some molds for carbon fiber products. And that's one of the first molds that have come out. That's a discard. It's a universal discard. So that'll. What we also do is we turn out a wheel spacer for the front wheel that will fit either a Yamaha, a KTM, a Yamaha 2-stroke. We just need to develop one for Honda, and effectively just measure up what size the Honda spacer is. But at the moment, we've got for KTM the motocross bike and the newer enduro bike. So it's the wider axle. It's not the narrow axle of the older version of the enduro bike. And the modern Yamaha with the bigger axle, and we've got the 2-stroke axle as well. So we've got those spacers for that. So this will bolt straight up with those wheel spacers. It fits in and it bolts up, and yeah. And then we also do some consumable parts. I'm sure you guys go through these things. The off-road guys, we've got a solid disc for the KTM, so that prevents the wear on the brake pads. The vented disc is more for the motocross guys. But the solid disc is for the off-road guys, so that they don't go through brake pads. Off-road races all go with solid discs, because when they flat out for 5 hours and they're hitting the back brake in every single corner, there's a build-up of obviously mud that comes into their bikes, and that wears down their brake pads. In one race, they will go through a set of brake pads if they're using a vented disc. That's why they go for the solid discs, and their brakes run a lot cooler.
They look amazing. They feel great, good quality.
Yeah, that's made of Domex. It's able to take the high temperatures that effectively they run. It's not a stainless steel product. It's made out of Domex, which is a very specific grade of steel, and it's able to handle really, really high temperatures without warping. So that's why we went with those ones.
All right, and not last, this is everything here is in development. So when I say development, you keep bringing new products to the fore, which is amazing. You are expanding your product portfolio,
Yeah.
and you have a nice little stand for the short guys.
Yeah, this is a starting block. So these starting blocks, I don't know if you might have seen them in Europe and in America. This is a platform for your heel. It's removable, so you can pull it off. It effectively picks your heel up so your foot is pitched up forward like this. It's also extendable, so if you're really, really short, you just undo these butterfly nuts.
So basically adjustable to the person's
and you can
size.
pull it, so you can so it's adjustable to the person's height and size, and if that is still too high, you can obviously remove these legs altogether, and you can go down to that level there. So the 50cc riders will use about that much as such. So that'll be perfect for them. But yeah, these are starting blocks. We've had Jaden Proctor try them out, and currently Evan and Blake Frost are giving them a go as well. So we'll see what their feedback is. But so far, the feedback that I've had is that the guys they're pretty excited about those. They're actually really, really helpful.
All right, cool. Rob, question from me. Why Piranha? What's the meaning behind the name?
I thought that because they were pretty vicious teeth, as far as they look very, very similar to the piranha teeth. If you can see that, the teeth in the piranha, basically, you don't want your foot to slip at all. And when you're riding, the last thing you want is for your foot to come off, because you lose all traction, all stability, everything like that. And what better bunch of teeth than a set of piranha's teeth to hold you onto your motorcycle.
Okay, wonderful, man. Okay, and then Rob, obviously, where do the guys find you? I believe there's a website that's going to be out quite soon.
Yeah, so just to give a shout out to some of the guys that have helped me out through these stages. Firstly, as I mentioned earlier, the Bergstrom's helping me out develop this product. It's been a long road. There's been a lot of iterations of the product, and there's been lots and lots of money that's invested into it, and the development that's gone into it is obviously taken time. But we're starting to get champions, like I mentioned earlier. How many we've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 champions, South African national champions, and some of them multiple national champions. So they believe in the product, and they're confident that it's going to help them, go forward with their motocross careers. So one of the guys that helped me out was obviously the guys from FCR, Rod and Roger Bergstrom. Alfie Cox Racing, they've really helped me out with regards to moving the products. The only dealership in KZN, motorcycle dealership in KZN, that have effectively supported me all the way. So they've helped me with selling motocross stuff, and they've also helped me on the off-road side. They've also helped me in the adventure side as well. I've developed quite a few adventure foot pegs for their various bikes, and very big shout out to them. And Dylan Jacobson up in Joburg, he runs 211 Training Solutions, and he's effectively my agent up in Joburg. Get a hold of him if you're needing foot pegs. He can certainly help you out. He's also trained a bunch of riders himself, and been involved with quite a few champions. As he currently is, Marco Certi is one of his riders, and Marco's purchased the Piranha foot pegs is on the Piranha platform. So there's quality in the product, and the guys are happy for it. Also, just a thanks to all of those guys that supported me, and let's keep the ball rolling. Let's carry on going.
It's so nice when you got guys who assist and help and guide. Well done to Alfie and Brad for assisting you and just helping you develop the product. And I know there's other product as well. these caps that we're wearing. Thanks, Rob, for the caps, and obviously the shirts are all going to be part of his, or should I say, on the website. Great product, guys. Honestly, I could support it 150%, and I think just it's amazing to see the effort that and the passion that Rob puts into these foot pegs. It's a really good world-class product.
Yeah, thank you, Blaine. Thanks for the opportunity, guys. Yeah, I really appreciate it, and hopefully see you at the track soon.
And guys, yeah, so what we'll do is we'll put the details of the website in the links, if that's how you say it. But yeah, there will be a website that will be available by the time we launch this, and take a look and get hold of myself or Rob if you want to have a look at these foot pegs or trial the foot pegs. And yeah, thanks. Cheers, Rob.
Awesome.
Thanks for your time.
Much.
Okay, guys, welcome back. So, Life Behind Bars, episode 1. We have the distinct honor of having with us Luke Grundy, 3-time South African champion, and his dad, Chris Grundy. Normally, in these podcasts, you would interview just the one, but I think Chris may have some really valuable insight to add to this conversation. And for me, it's an honor to be interviewing the two of them. I think from my perspective, it's not just Luke and Chris, it's Moira and Laura and Opie, the whole family that has made a success. So Luke won the MX2 National Championships this year, which I think is probably the premier class that you would strive to win in South Africa. And so yeah, 2-time MX high school champion, and then MX2 this year. Had a really good season. But it really is about teamwork. So Moira and Laura are in the audience with us tonight. So welcome, guys, and thank you for coming. But yeah, let's get on to it. I think to start with, maybe let's just start with Chris. Do you want to tell us where this all started? How did Luke get involved? At what sort of age? And yeah, let's just go for it.
So back in the day when I used to ride, I was a bushwhacker. I used to go on outrides all the time, and Luke was born, and then someone gave me a peewee. It wasn't running. It was red. The frame was red, and I decided, no, we're going to build this thing and get Luke on a peewee. And I think he was 3 or 4 at the time, and he got on it. He rode it, but he crashed quite hard on it. And that's how we got into it. And then we moved down to Durban, got him another peewee, this time a newer model, a blue one. And we started riding there. Then we got him a KTM 50. He got a brand new KTM 50 for one of his birthdays. Started racing Green Bus. Did pretty well there. First race he got a 13th. Halfway through the year, he started getting up to the top 3, and then we saw, no, maybe something can happen here.
So what changed from from a parent's point of view when he was finishing 13th and maybe not at the front? What did you see in Luke at that age that made you want to chase the dream, or was it just about having fun?
No, then it was just about having fun, but I could see that he loved it, and. So we just carried on doing it, and eventually started getting better and better. And that's where we went. Eh?
Yeah, you guys must be really proud. I mean, like I said, MX2 is the premier championship to win. So congratulations to your whole team. It's not easy, guys. And if you understand, I think these guys, they live in Toti. The main riding area for them is Maritzburg. How far is Maritzburg from Toti?
100 k's.
How many times have you done that trip, Luke?
3 times a week.
3 times a week. Opie drives up and down, or Opie used to drive. Is Opie still driving you?
No.
So Opie used to drive up and down 3 times a week to Maritzburg, 100 k's.
Yeah.
Did you ever do your homework, Luke? No. All right, great. Okay, and then Luke, for you started obviously at a young age. What is your best memory of starting out on motocross? What made you want to be a motorcycle racer?
Well, to be honest, like my dad said, I mean, doing all the, I had really good mates who actually well, my dad used to be friends with his dad, and then they moved down to Durban, and then shortly after my dad moved down to Durban, and then my dad and him were just always mates, and then they had a son a year older than me, so he always rode, I was riding, and I mean, because he was older than me, he would, in a way, you'd like be expected to, like, I could learn off him.
100%.
And yeah, so just growing up, I always had someone to ride with. Even I had friends also that, like, after we moved down to Toti, I always had friends that I could ride with, but they actually moved overseas. But yeah, still, like, when I was young, just the main thing was I just enjoyed it so much. Like, I think when I was young, I wouldn't even go to the track to honestly ride, mainly just to be with all my friends.
But that's what it's about. I
Yeah,
think just
yeah.
the culture is just have fun
And
and
just go ride with
go
your
ride
mates.
with
yeah.
your mates.
Even like the green buses.
that's the McGregor, eh?
Yes, the McGregors.
Okay, so they moved on.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're doing really well in England. They're
Yeah.
racing. And I think the Amber,
Yeah.
she won a championship, yeah?
Yeah, the AMZ.
Yeah, the AMZ.
Yeah.
So really congratulations there. But yeah, they've been good friends of yours all along.
Yeah.
So that's lovely. Tell me the number 450. Where does that come from?
If I'm not mistaken, my dad bought a bike with the number 450 on it, and then he just
So that's a proper sticker kit.
Had a proper sticker kit
Yeah,
saying the
yeah.
number 450 was on it, and you didn't want to change it.
I'm not messing this sticker kit up.
Okay, so
So
okay.
yeah, and then my dad kept the number from him. Obviously, my dad didn't put the number to use. I had to make something of the number.
Hey.
But yeah, my dad bought a bike, had number 450 on it, kept it, and then obviously with me it was at first I was number 8. When I got on a Pee-wee and a KTM 50, I was number 8. To be honest, I don't know why, and then yeah, when I moved up to about end of 50s, beginning 65s, I became more got the number
450.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit of significance in that Chris didn't want to do any work on the numbers. All right, great. Tell me your heroes growing up. Who did you admire?
When I was really young, at first it was Carmichael because it was one of my dad's favorites. Obviously, Carmichael the goat.
Because he was short.
No, it just yeah. And then on the other hand, I would hear my mom say Ken Roxon because he's the most attractive. And
Okay.
then I don't know, I just always also liked Bubba Stewart because of being the youngest and just like being an animal on the track, you know what I mean? Like on a 125 racing 250s
Crazy,
coming
absolutely
from last
crazy,
to first, you
yeah.
know, that was something to watch.
Yeah.
And then then it faded to a bit of Ryan Dungey because of how consistent he was. Like he would always podium every race, barely crashed. Just always something to look at and how smooth he was. And then yeah, as of late, not really anyone. Just I know when you get to the age like I don't have any heroes.
Yeah, you can get to that age,
Yeah.
but you obviously still watch
Yeah,
riders for
Yeah.
technique and ability.
Yeah.
So who do you watch currently?
I like Joe Shimoda at the moment.
Yeah, Joe's good.
He's quite good. I feel like what he did with the SMX title was
Well
was
done.
very interesting to watch. And he handled it very like in a mature way. So I feel like that was quite good to watch. And then I've always also liked Cooper Webb.
Okay.
I just also
Yeah, he's always there. He's
just-
always there. He's
Yeah,
always in the fight. Even when he's
exactly.
not in the fight,
Exactly.
he's in the fight.
Exactly.
And I mean, let's just say that this year for you must have felt like that a little bit at some points. Yeah, I mean, after that first round, so let's just go into your season. Fantastic season, but it wasn't always easy.
yeah,
First round, second race, big crash.
yeah.
Tell us about that crash. How did it happen? And at that point, yeah, did you think the championship was over?
So obviously, well, to be honest, whether it was my favorite race or favorite track on the calendar this year, so I was quite excited going there because obviously new track, it looked so good. I enjoyed it the day before, and I knew obviously my rival, my competition for this year, wasn't riding much or training much due to injury. So I knew if there was a national I could win, it was definitely round 1. And I think I did that in Moto 1.
Yeah, Moto 1 you won.
Yeah,
and then,
Moto 1
then Moto 2,
out slowly.
Moto 2 you got 18
Fifth.
points.
Yeah, fifth.
Fifth.
Yeah, so unfortunately Moto 2, after winning Moto 1, Moto 2. Just on the first lap, the track got so rough. And then there was a step down. And from what I can remember, there was just a whole bunch of ruts on the face. And then, I obviously didn't follow. I went where the two guys in front of me weren't. And then I dragged foot pegs up a face. And then obviously when you drag the foot pegs, the bike in a way comes through.
You ended quite severely.
Yeah, I thought I was going to jump over the bars.
Wow. Okay.
But then something just told me, maybe you can pull this off and hang on. And then, just when I got into the front wheel, soft sand just went
Straight
over the
over.
bars, bike on top of me.
Yeah. So we will show that obviously in the footage. Did you hurt yourself at all?
At first I got up and I was stiff straight away. Like I got up and I was like, oh, I don't know if you'll see in the video. I got up, I caught my breath, I hit my head. Quite good. I don't remember really finishing the moto, but managed to got up. The bike was all bent up, but I don't know how. But I managed to bring it home. I think the adrenaline
Kicked in.
and the
yeah.
spark of that crash got in, and I was like, it was enough to finish the moto like in a way pain free, even though there was pain, you just don't feel it or recognize it.
Absolutely.
But I got up, finished the moto, came back to 5th with obviously a bent bike. I did all I could do. I was catching 4th a bit, but obviously finishing 5th and then still 2nd overall, I realized, okay, the championship's not over. It's only 4 points. Like I got lucky.
Yeah,
And
you got lucky.
to get up and
Yeah.
finish a race after that crash, I said, I got lucky. Clearly meant to be in this championship fight. Let's carry on fighting.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
And then second round PE 1-1.
Well, actually, the second round was supposed to be in Joburg.
Yeah,
and
second-
Legends,
yes, yeah,
where it
second
got
round.
cancelled because of the rain and the lightning storms.
Did you guys even get to ride at all, or was it just a complete washout?
They gave the Friday before, guys were allowed to go out the Friday before, but not many guys went out. I think only like a handful. But you could just see it. There was no point in racing. Half the guys wouldn't have made it
Made it
lap.
across, yeah.
So they postponed that or cancelled it. Well, it was originally
It
postponed.
was originally postponed and then got cancelled, and
Then
then
got
so
cancelled
it was
later
seven rounds that you guys ended
Yes.
up. So you ended up winning 5 out of 14 races this year,
Yeah, I think so.
which is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So PE went 1-1.
Yeah.
Good day. Enjoyed
Yeah,
PE.
couldn't complain with that. Yeah.
Okay. Then towards the end of the year, so you had some good results. You had some good championship fights in terms of win one race against Cameron, lose one race, sort of
Yeah.
keeping the points
Yeah.
even keel. Towards the end, the last 2 rounds, things fell off a little bit. What
So-
was that strategic in terms of trying to
So-
prevent it? Oh, sorry, to try and save the championship or go
Yeah.
for the championship.
Yeah, so in a way, obviously Cameron crashed out at PE.
PE, yeah.
DNFing both motos, and then so I took advantage of that. So I left PE with, I think it was a 44 or 46 point lead
Okay.
on him. Maritzburg was the next round. I went. Maritzburg was the next round. I went 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
And I think he went 1-3, so I gained another 2 points on him there. Cape Town, same thing.
Yeah, let's talk about Cape Town. We have to talk about Cape Town, guys. Seriously. So, yeah, tell us about Cape Town from your perspective, and then I have some questions about the incident of Cape Town.
No, Cape Town was the best national of my life.
Cape Town was great. Okay.
Yeah, I loved Cape Town.
You love Cape Town. So, what transpired? Obviously, we're going to see the video. From my point of view, you brake check Cameron. He then tried to dive up the inside of you. He was still inside the track, and you guys both touched, and he went down.
Yeah. Basically, I honestly, I just think it was, obviously, like getting like halfway through the season and him not like being able to close the points as much as he thought he would.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, it just got to him a bit and frustrated him. And then, if I was in that position, I would. Well, I don't think I would do the same. I'll do the same thing, but I don't think to the extent he did it. But, I don't blame him because you're going for MX2 championship.
100%.
You know what I mean?
You're going for a championship. You do what you have to do.
These
And I think it was
championships,
frustrating
yeah.
for him. He was injured. He had lost some points.
Yeah.
And it was back and forth. You were pulling points, or he wasn't gaining any points
Yeah.
in the preceding rounds,
Yeah.
which was quite interesting.
Yeah.
And well done to you for putting that pressure on him. so that he wasn't able to come back.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can only win a championship if you're there in all the rounds. That's the way you win. You got to be there every single round, every single race.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys had a bit of incident. That's fine. How did the team take it? Aren't we allowed to talk?
No, we can talk. Obviously, him being my teammate, it was. I mean, we can't go and protest each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just said, it is what it is. Obviously, the videos came out only after you could protest, because you're only allowed to protest half an hour after the race.
Yeah.
After that, it's closed. So yeah, the videos only came out way after half an hour, bringing up to 2 hours later.
Oh,
so
okay,
there's
so
nothing you could do in any case.
Yeah. Look, it probably looked worse than it was. I mean,
Yeah.
it's you both, or he went down, but from your side there was no intent.
Yeah.
Yes, you might have brake checked him, but there was an intent to take him
Yeah.
out, and
Yeah.
and he dived under you, got into a rut. It
Yeah.
was it was.
Yeah, and there again, I thought he was going to go around the outside, because obviously I brake checked, and I thought there wasn't any room on the inside.
Yeah, and I think you were strategic in that because he wouldn't
yeah.
have got around the outside of you.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I went inside and did a bit of a brake check. So like I said, I thought he was going to go around the outside of me and just hear him revving up the inside of me. And I knew the only thing I could do at that point was just brace and, like, in a way, flex as hard as you can, you know,
100%.
pull in the clutch.
And what lap was that? So how far into the race was that incident?
It was probably about 4 or 5 laps in, because if I'm not mistaken, Proctor was leading.
Oh wow, I didn't
Yeah, he
realize
actually
that.
all shots it, and he was leading, but
Yeah.
I couldn't get past him. And like I said, the track went very one line because it was once again a muddy national, so the main line had become fastest. So yeah, it was quite one lined. And then it was, if I remember correctly, we were still behind Proctor when it happened. And then that same lap I managed to pass Proctor, which gave a ride in between me and Cameron.
Good. Oh,
Yeah.
it's great that you.
Proctor also crashed.
Proctor also crashed.
Just after the
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, the rest of the season was back and forth. The last round, you obviously knew you were in with a title fight. That was your worst round. You got 17 points in the first race and 14 in the second. I think
Yeah.
that's like an 8. What is the
Eighth.
14?
Eighth
Eighth.
overall.
What
I
happened?
went 6-8.
You went 6-8. What happened in that round, or was it just a matter of protecting? What was the pressure that much that you didn't ride like you should have?
Well, at Bloem, I was my normal self, but I don't know. Bloem was my normal self. I just struggled really bad with the arm pump, but like to the point where I almost had a big crash, like on my
Yeah.
own, like no one really knows or heard about or saw. It was at the back, but like almost a crash that would have ended the
End
season.
of the season, yeah.
And then that, like, in a way scared me, and I was like, okay, I'm in a good. I think I was like 52 points or something up.
You're way ahead, yeah.
I was like, all I need to do is pretty much get a 4th or 5th the rest of the nationals, you know what I mean? So managed to go 3-3 at Bloem for 4th overall, which wasn't too bad points wise. Then the next one was Teza, same thing. Then Teza, I was like, Teza to begin with is my least favorite track. I don't know why.
Jeez, I'm surprised.
Yeah,
Okay.
I struggled to find rhythm there. So same thing. My going in there, I was just like, let's finish both motos, and let's get the bike across the line. Which is what we did. We went 4-4, which again wasn't too bad on the points. And then I went into the last.
So, but you were in championship mode from those rounds already.
Yeah,
So
from
you're
Bloem.
What's it? 3 rounds before Teza, Bloem,
Yeah,
and Teratopia.
Teratopia. And then from Bloem, going from Teza going to last round, I was 30 points ahead. And then like you said, I couldn't even, obviously being in championship mode, I couldn't even train how Luke Grundy trains. You know what I mean? Like when I'd go to training, my coach would be like, no whipping, no bar dragging through turns, no dabbing your leg,
Yeah.
just ride and just get the laps in, which is what I did. So I couldn't even train at that intensity. And then basically getting to Teratopia, the main focus was just to make sure the bike gets across the line. I could have, if I had gotten second in the first moto, I could have wrapped it up.
Okay.
But obviously I didn't. Like being my main goal is the bike, getting the bike across the line. And then Moto 2, I think all I had to do was pretty much finish. I think I had to get an 18th.
Yeah, you had to get like an 18th or something. So you
Yeah.
were well
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
target. But I mean,
Yeah.
you could still easily, the bike could have broken
Yeah.
or something like that.
That's the biggest worst thing.
Not common with Kevin, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, big thanks to Uncle Kev.
Okay. So last round protection mode. When he was circling, do you want to pass the mic to Chris? When he was circling in 8th, what was your mindset, Chris? Like, how do you? I mean, you obviously knew the points, but you also knew that he was not perhaps performing where he wanted to, and you could have been concerned about a bike breaking or a chain snapping or something like that.
Well, I actually told him, I said, listen, yeah, you just finished the race.
Okay.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Because he's broken many chains in his life.
Yeah.
And I said, you're not breaking a chain today.
Shame, it must be hard to ride like that for you, because it's not your natural ability, because you just go for it all the time.
Yeah, for me, I said to him, I'm like, Dad, it's my favorite national. I'm going to go 1-1 here. And he was like, Luke, I don't want you near the front. He says, I want you away from the front pack in your own space, and you're going to finish both motors.
And that's what you've done, and that's what you needed. So
yeah, I thought, I don't think if it wasn't for my dad, I would have gone balls to the walls. But yeah, no, a bit of mature thinking from my dad and my side. Which to be honest, from Bloem, I think frustrated the competition quite a lot.
I think so. I think that's exactly it. They would have preferred you to be up front, so they could have just nudged your bars, taken you out, crashed, broken a couple of spokes, that kind of thing. So
at that intensity,
what you did was correct.
Yeah.
And that's good management skills from obviously the team and yourself and whoever's involved, which is great. Okay, let's move on. Next year, where are we? Can we talk about where you're going to go next year? Is there anything, or is it still up in the air?
Yeah, at the moment, everything's up in the air. To be honest, we're not too sure what's happening yet. We're still waiting. But that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, let's see where that goes. And then tell me when you know what you're riding, 450 or number 1?
Well, you don't often get to use the number 1 plate in the 250 class, so we're going to do anything and everything in our power to obviously run the number 1 plate in the 250 class. I mean, but at the same time, I'd love to go on a 450 because at the moment, I'm trying to make the transition into riding more smooth, because obviously being a bit heavier than the other guys and taller.
Are you that much heavier? I didn't know that. I mean,
yeah.
You don't look heavy. I mean, I know what heavy looks like.
No,
I look at certain people at this bar, but what do you weigh, if you don't mind me asking? Sorry, thanks. That was funny, guys.
Yeah, no, like I think the last, I don't know. Yeah, the
plus
last
minus.
time
What do you weigh?
75 to about 80.
And Cameron, any idea?
No.
I mean, Van Wyk must weigh nothing.
He weighs like 50 kgs.
50 kgs.
Somewhere
No,
there.
he must be light. Actually, he impressed me this year. Earlier on, I was talking a little bit about the season, and I think he impressed me substantially.
Yeah.
He had some good results at the end. So Van Wyk, but if you're weighing that much, maybe a 450 is where you want to be.
Me and my coach already, I mean, from when we were trying to keep it protective and started protecting the championship, we already just focused on riding higher gears, more of the torque of the engine, just keeping your momentum to the entries and exits. And I mean, like now we started training for next year already.
Okay.
And that's what we're focusing on, is just that torque of the engine, no over-revving the bike. And I feel like to about end of December, beginning of January, if I carry on doing what I'm doing now, like focusing on running the torque of the engine, and if I had to move on to a 450, I feel like it would
be suitable for you.
Help quite a lot, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's great and interesting that you want to go to 450, but obviously first prize is to defend 250 title.
Yeah, two to make it true.
2 to make it true. Yeah, you know what? I think one is still a lot more than many people have achieved.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Andre. So Andre is your coach, Andre Deeren. You guys train 3 times a week. What does Andre bring to the table in terms of getting the best out of Luke, Chris?
Andre brings everything. He's psychological, he's bike, technique, everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Andre's actually...
When you say psychological, what is he, just maybe a tip of the iceberg, what is he helping Luke?
No, he motivates Luke like you won't believe. Like he gets Luke like wants to go. He makes Luke want to go. It's very psychological, and he does well there. He's like a psychologist, if you ask me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
No, he is. I mean, I think then that's probably where your protection of the championship came in. Andre's got 5 South African champs, if I'm not mistaken. That's why I don't have any. I was racing Andre. He was beating me by a long way, so I wouldn't have won them. I was in the top 5 there with Andre. Lots of respect for Andre. Raced with Andre, and yeah, really good technical ability. And I think I've seen him teach and coach, and he's got a very good way of explaining how you must feel the bike.
That's
exactly
it.
So I've experienced that. He's taught me once or twice. Just being friends with him, and it's so well done to Andre, who's also part of the team. So as you can see, this team just gets bigger and bigger. I mean, we talk about a team, and we can't leave Kevin out.
Oh, no.
So Kevin's my wife's boyfriend on the side, but Kevy is just absolutely amazing. I think he does bring and add a lot of value to that whole KTM team. I don't know how he works on so many bikes and does what he does. But yeah, just from your point of view, tell me about Kev. I mean, and have you seen Kevin ride a motorbike?
Unfortunately, I haven't seen Kev
So,
ride
so
a
let me
bike.
tell you, Jet Lawrence has nothing on Kevin. No, I'm serious. Okay, maybe not now, but he's got a bit of traction control. But back in the day, he could ride a motorbike very, very well, and just he really looked comfortable on a bike. So, but yeah, tell me about Kev.
Yeah, Kev is he's one special human, eh? Obviously, when I joined KTM, straight away he took me under his wing. He was at the time helping TP quite a lot, Tristan Purden.
Yeah.
Okay. And then obviously, with Tristan moving overseas, in a way, he took me under his wing, under his arm. And then he just always made sure that the bike was top shape. Like when I had to come to Joburg to do testing, instead of Kevin would be the first person to say, "You staying at my house, kiddo."
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah.
Before, I think it's 2 out of the 4 years I've been with KTM. The last national I'd go up middle of the week, and then he would say, "You're staying in my house. Made sure he's eating right." I was with him in headquarters, watching him going over the bikes, prepping the bikes, and
Kevin made sure you weren't eating right. Okay. I'm not going to comment, but that's great.
But when it comes to his work ethic, it's something else. Kevin, in the beginning of the year, I think it was in 2022, KTM had I think it was 18 or 19 bikes, or maybe even more.
Wow.
And if I'm not mistaken, he put a sticky kit on each and every one of them in 2 days.
Yeah,
And
that's
he showed
hard.
me he had blisters on
He
his
must have had
thumbs
blisters,
and-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin's got a good work
Like,
ethic,
he
and he
puts
just
his
works
head-
and works. And
exactly.
so well done to Kevin. Part of the KTM team.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's a village, guys. It's. I mean, you've got Andre, you've got yourselves, you've got your Moira, you've got Laura. It's just a team effort. You got Opie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all something.
Yeah.
Just talking about Opie, how's he doing? I mean, I don't know if anyone knows his little situation that we had. Is he good?
I don't know if you guys know. Not many. Well, I want to say not many people know it, but he likes to talk, so I'm sure a lot of people know it.
Okay.
But yeah, he actually had to get his leg amputated, due to obviously medical reasons. But
That was throughout this year. Was that last year?
October.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last
So it's
October.
actually been a year, just over a year now.
And he's coping fine.
Everything's hundreds. Everything is normal. He's waiting for his prosthesis to come.
That's amazing.
Which should be coming quite soon in the next couple of months, or from what I know.
Yeah.
I've started walking. He likes his wheelchair. His wheelchair has made him lazy.
Okay.
But he has his walker, and then actually recently, last week, he asked me to, while he's on his crutches, he got crutches, and then he asked me to walk behind him on the crutches. So just to make
Just
sure
to help him. That's
just to
amazing.
get him the mobility going when he gets his leg. or
That's
his
amazing.
prosthesis.
Yeah, good luck to Opie, and I'm sure as you support Luke, I'm sure you're going to support him in his journey of healing. So well done to you guys. But yeah, that couldn't have been easy as a family either, going through that. So I mean, it's testament to your willpower just to move on and put things past you and focus on what needs to be focused on. I want to talk about. So I don't think a lot of people know you are working at the moment, Luke.
Yeah.
So tell us what you're doing, and I think it's very admirable that you're working. I think everyone's got to earn a little bit somewhere, but I don't think obviously motorcycle racing is going to always pay the bills. But so what are you currently doing? And let's talk about that.
So, actually, I started my plumber's trade, because, realistically thinking, like you said, motocross is you've only been doing motocross about 26, 27, 28. After then, what are you gonna do next? You know. So, yeah, I started my plumber's trade. It's definitely hard to do both worlds at once. But yeah, managing to do it. Finally,
And I think you're not alone. Eh? So there are a couple of other guys in the
Yeah.
MX2 class, MX1 class that are also working full-time jobs. So it's
Yeah.
great. But how does the do you want to give them
Yeah.
a bit of a boost here?
yeah.
And I mean, I know they give you some time off.
Yeah. So, yeah, we actually got it through a friend who was friends with my boss. So yeah, my boss, his name's Subas Taran and Brandon. They waterworks plumbing and construction. Yeah, and honestly, my side, best bosses I could ever ask for. So laid back and chilled. I get Tuesdays and Thursdays off half day. So at 12:30 I can leave, which is when I'd go home, load everything, and then shoot to Maritzburg for the afternoon to train. And then, yeah, on races, I say, listen, I'm racing national this weekend. I'm going to need Thursday, Friday off. Then like, yeah, sweet. Leave the company car here. You're good to go.
No, that's great. Eh? So
Yeah.
you'll eventually come out as a qualified plumber.
Plumber, yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, they sought after and needed, but I think it's very important that you do work. And I mean, do you see it as a negative, or are you seeing this as a positive? I mean, currently, what's your state of mind?
At the moment, I'm seeing it as a positive because I was actually speaking to Andre about it. Andre's like, to be getting a trade and still to be able to win the MX2 championship, he says it's something crazy. He says, like, when you tell people that, not many people will believe that. But yeah, like, at the end of the day, my goal is to, this is not going to sound great in South Africa, but I want to immigrate for when I'm older. And realistically thinking, or the only way forward to do that is the best thing to do is to get a trade.
Absolutely. No, it's the
Yeah.
great thing you're doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, from my point of view, I think you might be working, or you are working, and then maybe you're not focused on motocross as much as you would normally be, which is actually a positive, because sometimes you can overkill the passion, overkill the effort. So this could be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
So when you go riding, you're going to put twice as much effort. You're
Yeah.
going to make sure that you do things,
Make the most of it.
make the most of it. Where sometimes maybe if you weren't working, would you have that same commitment? So I actually think it's a positive, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like you to see it that way, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you can make this work, and you are not alone. There's lots of guys around the world
Yeah.
that are working and riding and racing and winning.
Yeah.
So you can still win.
Yeah. No, yeah, but
But it's great that you're working. I think it's
Yeah.
fantastic,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's a great trade to get into. So well done, and keep it up. And how long does it take, the trade?
So you're allowed to do your trades test from the age of 21, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I have until 21. Well, 21 is the earliest you can do it. So yeah, I have until 21 to learn as much as I can. Obviously 18 now, so good two and a bit years to learn as much as I can, and then do my trades test, and then have that trade behind me.
Okay, awesome. All right, so guys, I think I've asked a lot of questions. Do you want to just talk about your sponsors currently, and just maybe give them a shout out and say thanks to them?
Yeah. So obviously I've been with KTM now the last 4 years. Since 2022. They've given me so much. Like, it's out of this world how much you actually get given from like a factory sponsor. And that's actually helped us out quite a bit with finances. I wouldn't be racing if the year I got sponsored, or the year before I got sponsored, I said to my dad, if I don't get a factory ride, I want to try go overseas, because I was 14 on a 125 getting top threes against 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I said to my dad, listen, if I don't get a ride, I want to go overseas for a year. Like, let's put all our money to just 1 year in Europe.
In Europe.
And see what it can do. And then, literally a couple of weeks later, KTM gave us the cord.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but KTM have given me so much. It's actually crazy. Like, a normal person or like anyone else at the track don't really know like how much
they put in.
actually give.
Yeah,
you.
it adds up. I mean, it does. And now tell me, overseas, you have raced a little bit overseas in Britain. Just tell us a little bit about what you did there, and is that something that you're going to do again? I know it's expensive because it's times bar. What's it times bar?
20, it ranges between.
How much is it times bar?
22.
23 and a bit.
20 and 24 in between there, Yeah, no, I for sure want to go there. Obviously, like we mentioned earlier, we have friends McGregor's. They accommodate me when I'm there, take me to all the races. I do the same races as their children. I actually did when I was there last time was 2023. No, 2024.
2024.
Yeah.
You went to
2024, yeah. First year
Yeah.
on 250s.
yes.
Yeah, it was good. I think I did quite well. And in 2023, as well, my last year on 125s, I actually won a British National. So that's quite cool.
That's
got
amazing,
the
yeah.
trophy at home. But yeah, I'd love to go there, but at the moment finances aren't looking too good. But I mean, it's with this trade. Hopefully now me working and obviously like KTM giving me a bit of bonus money on race wins or podiums and like the championship
Championship
bonus. I
bonus.
can just maybe put in savings and save up and see how it's looking for next year. But yeah, I'd definitely love to go there.
Yeah, I think it'll be great for you to go there, but obviously it does come at a cost. But yeah,
Yeah.
just let your riding show for it and let your riding take you there. Hey?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just carry on working and striving and doing the best. And we want to see you win more championships for Natal.
Yeah.
You're one of the 5 Natal champions. It is 5, eh? Yeah, five Natal champions. I mean, Chris, let's just talk about that. I mean, when you guys go to Maritzburg on any given day, you might not always be there because you also work a full-time job. It's just incredible, the talent. And what do you think what is the reason for that talent all just coming together?
I think it's because of two things. I think Natal has the best tracks in the country. I mean, you got Hammersdale, you got PMB, Thunder Valley, you got Cato Ridge,
Got Richards Bay.
Richards Bay, you know,
So
and there's a whole lot of private tracks as well that
yes,
farmers
farmers have,
build
yeah.
on there, you know. So I think that's one of the main reasons. And then number two will probably be the amount of talent that Natal
Producers.
bring to the sport. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just incredible. I,
mean,
think 5 out of 9 championships or whatever it is.
yeah. And
So it's majority Natal, which is amazing.
Even last year, it was almost. I think it was better. I think it was 7, wasn't it? 7.
It could have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so there's a lot of talent in Natal, and
Yeah, and I think you may also
and-
just want to talk about Andre and Wyatt.
and that's it. Also
two
the
good coaches,
two good coaches in yeah.
which is important. And I know obviously Jobig's got coaches, but the way that you guys all ride together.
Yeah.
Are you guys, like when you ride, give everyone an idea. I mean, obviously your coach is Andre, Cameron's coach is Wyatt. Do you guys ride on the same days? Do you watch each other, but you don't ride together as such?
Yeah, so obviously we'll be there on the same day as each other most of the time. Depending, because like sometimes like we would go to Hammersdale, they would be in Maritzburg, and then they'll sort of like swap around. Obviously depending on the coaches' programs. But yeah, I mean on a training day, with the two groups there, it's quite cool because in a way you have a gauge.
Yeah.
And like I mean you're not racing them, but
You
you
can
have a
see
gauge
them.
to see okay, he's got me there. Let me fix up or tidy up there and so forth. And I mean, I don't think obviously they would do the same with us riders, you know. Because
Okay.
I mean, Andre has 3 really good riders, 4 really good riders at the moment.
So who's Andre's sort of riders?
Obviously it'll be myself, Trey Cox, Kate van Deventer, Ross McKenzie. Then there's another kid, Keegan.
Okay.
And then Matt Stoney.
Oh, Matt Stoney, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's coming along nicely, so
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
it
yeah.
helps. It helps having a coach.
Yeah. So yeah, just when all the groups are together, it's just nice. You have a gauge, and I mean, sometimes we like in a way try to race each other. Like they'll sometimes pull on behind Andre's group, and then sometimes Andre's group will just like
Pulls-
find them
yeah,
on the
yeah,
track.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
They end up racing, but I mean, you can only use that and do the only thing you can do with that is make it a positive. You know.
Okay. And a question from me: video footage. Do you guys? I mean, obviously, iPhones and cameras are easily usable. Does Andre use a lot of video footage to show you stuff, or is it mainly just him watching you?
Not really him. It's more of him watching me, and the riders. He don't really use videos. But like for example, he got obviously all the logins to like Supercross, Outdoors, MXGP,
Yes, yeah.
and then he would sometimes give me the logins and he'd say, "I want you to watch this moto of this race," and
Okay.
and then he'll give me a certain rider to watch and what that rider was doing. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
To
you're
learn
learning
off.
off that,
And
yeah.
then also we have this thing called LitPro. I
Yes,
don't know if you know what
I've
Litpro.
heard of Litpro. Yeah.
So each of the riders on the training day, like me, Trey, and Cade, he would give us each a Lit Pro, and then me, Trey, and Cade can go on the Lit Pro app and compare our lap times of each lap in the motor to each other, and see what corner Trey was
It's helpful,
faster.
eh? No, it's absolutely
And
helpful. Yeah.
I mean, he, like in a way, he uses us against each other, but it's only to make us better. You
Only
know?
to make it better.
So,
All right. No, that's interesting. Huh? And so just when you see yourself, when they record you and you, this famous guy crashing on TV and winning races and being on the podium, do you think you look fast or do you think you look slow?
to be honest, I don't like.
It's crazy. TV makes you look slow. That's why I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, like, well, to be honest,
Unless I'm just trying to make myself feel better because when I record myself, I look slow. So what does it look like for you as a pro?
so like if it's like on a phone footage, obviously I would only record something if I feel like I'm doing it fast.
Okay.
And most of the time the video like is like what I feel on the bike. But yeah, I mean there are times where just sometimes like videos just they
They don't look the same. That's exactly it. Okay, so it's not just me. I feel
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
And on that note, guys, I just want to say thank you for coming. I think really great to be able to chat with you,
Yeah, thank you.
for your insights, for Chris's insights, and for everyone. I hope you like the content. If you do, obviously like and subscribe, and you know the process. Guys, if you want to get involved from a sponsorship point of view, so tonight was Piranha Racing, so thank you, Rob. Just get a hold of myself. It's way more cost effective than you may think. But we want to run a series of these podcasts. I've got a couple of guys I want to interview, obviously set up already, and I'll keep that to myself, but I know who they are. Lots of support already from the people in and around me and my family, to my wife and my kids, and obviously the people in the audience who are helping me, my mates. I like to call them my mates. I don't know if they sometimes call me their mate, but yeah. So thanks to them. Thanks to the videographer, Evan. All these things obviously need a little bit of money to do. So thanks to everyone here for putting it together. And yeah, if you want to get involved, give me a call and we can tell you what's involved.
Yeah.
And yeah, we want to do 6 or 7 of them, and I think it's very exciting. I don't think you guys saw it earlier, but I did a bit of a update on South African motocross and just where the state of the nation is, basically. So there's a bit more to this podcast. And yeah, thanks for coming, guys. Really appreciate your time. And one last thing, you've got to sign my Piranha hat
Can I also say one last
with a number 1.
thing?
Can you do that? Are you allowed
Yeah,
to
of
sign
course.
number 1? Okay, what would you like to say?
I just also like to say once again, thanks to there's a lot of like personal sponsors behind me and people that
Go
back
for it.
me.
Wait, go for it.
Yeah, so I first want to say thanks to Uncle Brad Love. Uncle Brad Love has helped me quite a lot this year with training and things to make me better and fitter. So I want to give a big thanks to Uncle Brad. Also, I want to give a big thanks to Frank Shirty. His son's Marcus Shirty also raced the MSA Nationals. Yeah, he's helped me quite a lot, especially with the race fuel this year. I mean, race fuel's it's quite expensive as you know. So he's sponsored me a drum every national, and then yeah, just all my family and friends supporting me. Or if they're not at the national, it would be on live stream, you know. So I just want to say thank you to them as well.
No, that's great. And then, like I said, it's a team, guys. So it's great that you want to thank them. Chris, you want to say anything to anyone? And
I should have bought him a tennis racket.
you should have bought him a tennis racket. I absolutely agree. But yeah, Chris, well done to you and Moira and Laura for obviously supporting him through the year. Great family team, and it's not easy, I'm sure, guys. I'm sure it must put it up and down that road 3 times a week. It must be quite tiresome.
No, I do say.
And yeah, you've obviously got a full-time job and still doing what you have to do, and it's great to see the commitment and keep up the commitment. And we want to see you on that start line next year and see you going for it. So
Thank you.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And Life Behind Bars, guys, first episode. I think this content is hopefully suited to what you're looking for. So let me know if you want more content similar to this, and we'll make it happen. Thank you, everybody.
Sweet.
Have a good night. Cheers.
Thank you.